Good morning and welcome students. So today here I am with one more video of the visit to Kazironga and Sivsagor. Actually, game also means animals hunted for sport and food. That would not be a nice name for a park where you want to conserve animals, would it? So Lohit wanted to know from his mother why the name of Kazironga changed once again. Why the name Kazironga Game Sanctuary had been changed. This is what Lohit wanted to know. Then the mother explained the reason behind the changing of name is that the meaning of game actually. The game word was associated with Kazironga Game Sanctuary. So the meaning of game is that animals hunted for food or sport. So since that particular name and meaning of the name was associated with Kazironga, because Kazironga is basically made for conservation purposes. So if the meaning of a word again, which meaning is animals hunted for food and sport, so that was not suitable with a park which is made for conservation purposes. So that is the reason the name of Kazironga Game Sanctuary had been changed. So it was renamed Kazironga Wildlife Sanctuary in 1950 by the P.T. Tracy, the forest conservationist of that time. So that is why the new name had been given to Kazironga as Kazironga Wildlife Sanctuary. It was 1950 and that name was given by P.T. Tracy. He was the forest conservationist of that period of time. It was in 1974 only that Kazironga was designated as a national park, and in 1974 finally Kazironga has been designated as Kazironga National Park, which we know today. Okay. Trisha said now it would be more interesting to see the park. So after knowing about the history of Kazironga, Trisha feels more fascinated regarding Kazironga. That is why she admitted that now it will be more interesting for me to visit this particular park. The next morning they entered the park on elephant back. The grasses were so tall that if they had not been on elephant back, they would probably have got lost. So the next morning, as it was decided, they went to Kazironga National Park to see the greenery as well as wild animals there. So the grasses of Kazironga were so tall, if they did not travel on elephant's back, they must have been lost within that. But from the huge animals' back, they were able to view the vast expanse of the park. There were marshes here and there. But since they traveled on elephant's back, so they could see the wide range of beautiful scenery as well as animals of Kazironga. Look, Lohit shouted excitedly. There is a rhino on another small rhino. Can we go closer? So suddenly Lohit got sight of a rhino and he was very excited about that. So first he saw the big rhino and later he could see another small rhino with that. And he wanted to go closer to that particular rhino. That is a mother rhino with her baby, the guide said. She would not like anyone to go near her when she is with her baby. She is very protective towards her baby. Then the guide told that no, it is not proper to go closer to the rhino right now because that was a mother rhino and she was along with her baby. So whenever mother rhino is along with her baby, she did not want anybody to go closer. So if anybody go closer at that point of time, there is every possibility that the mother rhino becomes violent, and because she was very protective regarding her baby. Near a water body, they saw some birds. Look at those birds. How beautiful they are, mother said. She took out the binocular to have a closer view. Wow, there is rhino near the birds. So then Lohit and Trisha's mother could see some birds around there, and she told them that look at those birds, how beautiful they look. Okay, she took the binocular and to have a closer view of those birds, and they could see some birds near those rhinos as well. Let me see, Lohit said, taking the binocular from his mother. Oh yes, but Ma, if the rhino catches those birds, he will eat them, Lohit said. So Lohit took the binocular from his mother, and she told, yes, there are some birds near the rhino. But she wanted to know from his mother that since those birds were near the rhino, so if the rhino catches those birds, he will eat them up. Trisha laughed, silly boy, don't you know that rhinos are herbivorous? Then Trisha told her, what are you saying, boy? You are a silly kind of boy. Okay, don't you know that rhinos are herbivorous? Herbivorous meaning, Lohit said. Lohit doesn't know the meaning of herbivorous. So then he asked, what is herbivorous? Meaning, his sister explained they eat only grasses. Herbivorous animals are those who don't eat flesh. So that is what Trisha told him. The herbivorous animals eat only grass. And they also eat leaves, fruits, water plants, and branches of shrubs. Added their mother, they do not eat flesh. The mother confirmed that apart from grass, they also eat fruits, leaves, water plants, shrubs, etc. But most important thing is that herbivorous animals don't eat flesh. Wow, this explained looking through the binocular, there is another rhino in the water. Then through the binocular, Trisha could visualize one more rhino in the distance, and she was very happy about that. Lohit laughed. Now who is silly? Rhinos cannot be in the water. They are so heavy that they will get drowned. You must have seen some big branches in the water. So when Trisha told that she could see a rhino in the water body, then Lohit told, you often tell me as a silly kind of boy, but now you tell me who is exactly silly. Actually, you are not me actually, you are silly. Because rhinos are so heavy, so that they cannot be in the water. If they go into the water, they will be drowned. Then he told that you must see some branches of trees there, who you tell us rhino. In fact, rhinos are very good swimmers, father said. In the afternoon when it is very hot, they get into the lakes and ponds to cool down. Then the father corrected to him that no, you are not correct actually. Although rhinos are heavy, but still they are very good swimmers. They could swim quite well. In fact, in the afternoon when it is too hot, they used to go deep into the water and spend most of the time in water. Further in, they spotted deer. It was an exciting trip for them, and they were lucky to see quite a number of animals and birds in the park as they passed through the thickets of tall elephant grass and short grasses. So apart from rhinos, birds, etc., they could see some deer as well. And the trip of Kazironga is quite exciting and memorable for both Lohit and Trisha because they could see huge amount of trees, animals in Kazironga. They were delighted at the sight of the breathtaking area of flowers like water lilies, lotus, and water hyacinth. Their mother had remarked, the flora truly adds to the charm of the park. So they could see some flowers as well, variety species of flowers like water lilies, lotus, and water hyacinth. And the mother remarked that this kind of flowers and trees add the charm of Kazironga even more. They also learned that apart from being home to 2/3 of the world's great one-horned rhinoceros, Kaziranga National Park has the highest density of tigers among the protected areas in the world and was declared as a tiger reserve in 2006. So what Trisha and Lohit could know one more thing regarding Kaziranga is that Kaziranga is known as the 1/3 density of rhinoceros in the world, And apart from that, it was declared as a tiger reserve in 2006 because huge number of tigers also inhabited in Kazironga. Though they could not see the tigers because of the tall grass that provided very good camouflage, their presence can be felt everywhere as they leave path marks. But unfortunately, they could not see a single tiger in Kazironga. Why? Because there are a lot of long grasses are there in Kazironga at that point of time. But they could see some footmarks in a land of tigers, and that particular thing confirmed that the number of tigers inhabited in Kazironga. Late in the afternoon, they left for Sivsagor. On their way, before reaching Sivsagor, they crossed a stone bridge. Their mother said, pointing at the bridge, "This is the Sivsagor, the Namdam stone bridge." So late in the afternoon, they left Kazironga to Sivsagor. On their way to Sivsagor, before they reached Sivsagor, they crossed a particular bridge. The name of the bridge is Namdam Stone Bridge or Namdam or Hilor Hako. It is not a long bridge. I almost missed it, Trisha said. When mother pointed to them, they look at this is Namdam Stone Bridge from the car. Trisha told that it is not a long one because I can't see the entire bridge because suddenly they crossed it. It is just 60 meters inland, said father. The most amazing fact is that it was built of only one single stone. The point to be noted is that it was built entirely with human resources at a time when modern day technology was not there. Then the father told the length of Namdam stone bridge is only 60 meters. But the most astonishing or amazing fact regarding the Namdam stone bridge is that it was built only in one stone. And in that particular time, when modern technology was not available, it was a miracle, it was a mystery for people how they could build a bridge from a single stone. Who built it? The Ahom king Rudra Singha in 1703. They wanted to know who built this particular bridge. Then the father told the Ahom king Rudra Singha built Namdam stone bridge in 1703. Trisha always admired the way both her father and mother remembered facts and dates. It helped her understand the importance of the bridges, temples, and monuments set against the time they were built. Trisha always admired a particular fact regarding his father and mother. That is that they could remember facts, dates quite well. And because of the particular knowledge of her parents, it was quite helpful for her to know about the importance of historical things. Soon they reached Sivsagor. After that, within some time, they reached Sivsagor. Sagar is sea, but there is no sea here. Why is this town is called Sivsagor? Lohit questioned as they settled in their hotel room. So when they reached Sivsagor, Lohit expected that he might see some sea in Sivsagor because Sagar word was associated with Sivsagor. He was the Hagor dekhibole pabo. But when he could not see a single sea there, so he told his parents that there is no Sagar here. But still, why Sagar word is associated with this particular place? Sagar is sea, but there is no sea here. Why is it town called Sivsagor? Lohit questioned, settled down their room. I read somewhere that when the Ahom kings used to dig some special tanks, they named them adding Sagar, like Sivsagor tank, Sivsagor tank, Sivsagor tank, Trisha said. Then Trisha told that she read somewhere that when Ahom kings dig big ponds, huge ponds, okay, and whenever they dig such kind of ponds, along with the name they used to add the word Sagar. For example, Sivsagor tank, Sivsagor tank, Sivsagor tank. These are big ponds in Sivsagor which were dug by the Ahom kings. And whenever they dug that kind of huge ponds, they added word Sagor in that. So, since you can see number of such tanks in Sivsagor, that is why Sagor word was associated with Sivsagor. Good girl, her father said. What Tisha said, it was absolutely correct. That is why her father appreciated her. I wish there was really a Sagor here, Lohit said. But Lohit was a little bit disappointed because he was expecting to see some sea there when that was not there. So he was a little bit disheartened. Silly boy, how can you have a sea in the middle of the land? Tisha said to her brother. You are really silly. This is what again Tisha told. In the middle of a land, how can you expect a sea? They set out to see the Sivsagor tank. Sivsagor town is named after this tank. It is situated right in the heart of the town. So after spending some time in a hotel, they came out to see the Sivsagor tank. And Sivsagor name is associated with this particular tank. And this particular tank is situated in the middle of the Sivsagor town. Here is the Borpukuri, said their mother as they got out of their car to walk towards the tank. So when they reached the Sivsagor tank, mother told, look, this is Borpukuri. Borpukuri asked Lohit, I thought it was called Sivsagor tank. Borpukuri? What is this? I think this is called as Sivsagor tank. It is also known as Borpukuri. See how big it is, mother said. It is a tank dug by Queen Ambika, consort of King Sivsagor. So it is named after her husband. Then the mother told, you are right. Sivsagor tank is also known as Borpukuri. And this particular tank was dug by Queen Ambika, wife of Ahom King Sivsagor. And the Sivsagor town, this particular, and she named this particular tank after the name of her husband. Look at the temple, Tisha said, pointing at the temple on its bank. On the bank of the Borpukuri or Sivsagor tank, there is a nice temple is there. And she pointed that particular temple to everyone. Look at, that's the temple. That is Sivadol, 104 feet tall. It is dedicated to Lord Shiva and the most sacred of the three temples. The two other are Vishnudol, dedicated to Lord Vishnu, and Devidol, dedicated to Goddess Durga. So then, the parents of Tisha and Lohit told them, yeah, that is Sivadol. The height of the particular temple is 104 feet. And this particular temple is named after Lord Shiva. It is dedicated to Lord Shiva. And there are two more temples in the bank of Sivsagor tank, that is Vishnudol, which is dedicated to Lord Vishnu, and another is Devidol, that is dedicated to Goddess Durga. These are the three temples you can see on the bank of Sivsagor tank or Borpukuri. Wow! Look at the golden dome with the pinnacle on the topmost part of Sivadol, this exclaimed. So at the top of the Sivadol, there is a dome-like thing, okay, that is called pinnacle, and it was golden. And Tisha was fascinated to see that. That is 7 feet high and is called Colossi, their mother said. And all the three temples you see on the bank were built by Queen Ambika, consort of Sivsagor. Yes, then the mother told, yes, that is called Colossi, that is 7 feet height. And these three temples, Sivadol, which is the most sacred one, Vishnudol, which is dedicated to Lord Vishnu, and Devidol, which is dedicated to Goddess Durga. All these three temples are made by Queen Ambika, wife of Sivsagor. So here I conclude for today. In my next video, I will complete this particular chapter, a visit to Kazironga and Sivsagor. Thank you for listening to me.